Welcome to DJNTV and Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe. Now introducing the one and only Ben Stowe.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. And it's Tuesday, and it's Tuesday, and it's Tuesday. Yay.
That might be my favorite intro ever, John.
Yay. That means it's time for the one and only Ben Stowe. You know, where's the clapping? Clapping? Come on.
We need an applause light.
Dang it, we need some.
Everybody clap, please.
We need an audience.
Yay.
We need a live studio audience.
Yeah, I can't see you or hear you, but that would be fun. That would be fun to do this in front of a live studio audience.
That would. I mean, we've done it remote a couple of times.
On a
and
beach?
We've had folks who came and actually found it entertaining, which, you know, far be it from us to judge their.
Didn't we get one at LDI one year too? I can't remember anyway. Yeah.
Oh, I think we were at Mobile Beach. We did it from the Mobile Beach show. We were on the boardwalk in Atlantic City.
Yep.
So I mean, that was a remote location that we did. I mean,
well, maybe in the future. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see where the road takes us. So we are back with tonight's session of Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe, and we've got a couple of questions that we're going to be doing tonight, and we've got some information to share. It's going to be absolutely great. So the way the show starts, our first session is Ben's Joke of the Week. So we're going to put the break in here, and then we're going to come back with Ben's Joke of the Week. All right, Ben, we are back with the what do we have for this week's joke?
You know, I'm having trouble. So we had the strawberry jam last week, and nobody liked that. So let's see. I feel like, and nobody liked the gardener one. Let me. I hadn't decided yet today. Let me see here. I mean, I kind of did, but then I was like, oh boy, no, I don't know. All right.
Okay.
A DJ walks into a bar.
Oh boy.
He says, "Hey, I've heard this one before."
DJ walks into a bar. Funk.
That's it. That's the whole joke.
I've heard this one before.
No, do we need another one? Let's see. I have a collection of bad jokes here. Let's see.
Bad music jokes.
You know, and thank you to the friends that are sending it. I think the people that are sending me these jokes are enjoying this because they don't have to read them on.
And you know, they probably, when they deliver them, and nothing against your delivery, but there's just some jokes that work really well with some people's delivery.
What are you trying to say?
And no matter how much we try to emulate that, we can't. And there's just some jokes that you can tell that I can't tell, and there might be a joke that I have that you can't, or that I tell well and you can't. It's just how it is, you know.
The problem is I started off really strong with, the Wikipedia.
That pretty much, really. I mean, I don't want to say it out loud, but, we have been kind of downhill since then. But I figured, there's always, a chance for redemption.
All right, well, let's try this one.
Okay.
So what do waiters and DJs have in common?
What do waiters and DJs have in
It's their job to turn tables.
Turntable. I see what you're saying.
Was it the delivery?
Maybe the delivery. Maybe it was the the rim shot in the background.
I'm much better live, and I'm also much better when I'm just riffing. I think like, and again, we've talked about Harvest of Sound, but I get that a lot actually when I give presentations. People are always like, "I had no idea you were so funny," and I'm like, okay. I think really you just gotta. I don't know. Because I see the humor in situations, and that's usually where it's something that really is funny, and you're just kind of pointing it out. It's like, telling a stage DJ joke. That's tough. I don't know these jokes. Listen, I need help, people. I need help.
You're doing well.
Send some better freaking jokes.
Yeah,
honest.
We can expand it to the music industry, but yeah, we'll get that. So let's get to our first question of the night.
All right.
Okay, Ben, for our first question tonight is ceremony systems are going to become a hot topic once again, and people ask how I can make that system fully battery powered or fully wireless. And of course, our friends at Electric Voice had a solution. So if we start with our eVerse, whether it's the eVerse 12 or the eVerse 8, we have options to make that a fully wireless system.
You do. The back of the eVerse has either a USB-C power outlet, or, and more commonly used, it has a DC barrel connector, and that is 12 volts and limited in theory to 500 milliamps. I know people that are drawing more than that, and their eVerse hasn't burst into flames. I just can't advocate it. The reason I say that is there was somebody on a forum who said, they told us you can't do this, and we're doing it. Well, I would also tell you not to play in traffic. So, I mean, but the specs say 12 volts and a max of 500 milliamps. And that DC barrel is great because we can use that to power wireless IEM receivers. We've got a kit for that. Of course, most people use it to power their wireless mic receivers. We've got cables for that. I got some nifty examples here. Excuse me. And looky there, see that little American flag? No tariffs on these bad boys. So anyway, make these right here in the U.S. But anyway, so that's a great way to do it because the battery that's built into the eVerse is going to power not only the eVerse but also your wireless mic, and you could maybe use the USB to power a tablet or something, keep it charged. A couple different ways you can do that. Of course, the more things you have plugged in, the faster you're going to drain the battery, but it's going to work really well.
Mm-hmm. And if people would like to get one to match for their system, how would they go about that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. And if you don't have an eVerse, we have those in stock. We have the totes, we have the trays and all the accessories. But if you already have an eVerse and you need a cable, let's just do this. Let's share this. We go to the best website in the world. Okay, actually, the website's not that great, but the best company in the world. But we are working on the website every day, try to make it a little better for you. But this is the NLFX website, and you go here to search the store and type in eVerse cable, and we can see that it pops up right down here. And just click on the link. And if we scroll down here a little bit, you can see that you can just choose your wireless from the list.
Oh, so, nice.
Yep. If I have a Sennheiser EWD, I would just select that. If I have a BLX4 or whatever I have, I would just pick that from the list and add to cart, and you're off to the races.
So what about my favorite FM Radio Shack microphone that I love from 1983? Granted, I have to be within 4 feet of the receiver, but
Let's see. Let's type in wireless microphones and get you a new one.
Well, there's that.
So if your mic is not in the list, I think the first thing you can do is just go right down here and send us a message, and or live chat us. If it's during business hours, you'll probably get a human. If not, you can just send us a message. Or, just send us a message some other way and, say, I have XYZ microphone, and we may be able to just help you with that. We may have to ask your help. I say that because we had some people who've asked for cables for some pretty obscure microphones.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing is, determining what the voltage on the microphone is. And then the second thing is what its amperage requirements are. And then the third thing is what size barrel connector is on the unit. We've done a pretty good job of sorting through those. We've even had people send in their wireless because there wasn't really any other way for them to figure it out.
Sure.
That's pretty extreme. I think, we've got probably most of the most common ones covered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. As we were looking through the list, and those are, Shure, Sennheiser. You had a JTS in there, Electro Voice, the Audio Technica. Yeah, you've got pretty much the main ones out there.
Yeah, and there are some that are not compatible. There are some wireless systems that simply don't work with the eVerse, and so they're not on the list, and that might be the outcome. You might message us, and we might say, yeah, we're aware of that. It just doesn't work. So, we'll try to.
Yeah, you mentioned the 500 milliamps. Now, that is enough to run a wireless receiver comfortably?
Yeah, almost all of them. And there's a few examples where, like the Sennheiser EWDX, it states on the back of the unit that it draws 1 amp, so twice the output of the Everse, and we would have called it a day and said, nope, that's not compatible. It's not going to work. But we actually measured an EWDX under load. And in our tests, we found that the EWDX was drawing only about 440 milliamps at peak. So now I certainly can't speak to every scenario. But I guess our thought process is that Sennheiser kind of padded that number, to be conservative, kind of protect, people a little bit. Anyway, but in our testing, we found that it worked. So we've said that we make a cable for it, and there's now lots and lots of people out there using our cable and doing it with success. So whenever possible, we try to really get deeper than what just the printing on the unit says. We try to get real answers for people.
Nice. Very good. We put that link into the chat, so you guys want to go check that out. So you mentioned in the corner, speaking of chat, that little area where they can click and they can send a message, or during the day they can chat. When we are doing the shows and talking about gear and we say, hey, reach out to us. So that is another option. Instead of picking up the phone and calling or emailing Kyle at all hours of the night, they can use that as also a message and say, hey, I just saw this really cool thing. I just saw the moat on DJNTV. I need one. And they could go and communicate that way also.
Yeah, absolutely. It just comes to us as an email, and then we reply to it. If you don't see a reply within 24 hours, maybe check your junk filter. Sometimes that does happen.
Sure.
Yeah, certainly the live chat is great. Again, email, social media, whatever you're most comfortable with. And of course, if you need a moat, the easiest thing is just go to the site, type in moat, add it to your cart, and check out.
There you are. Quick and easy.
That's right. Pretty painless.
All right, let's jump to our next one. We're going to have our inspirational words from Ben. All right, Ben, what do you have for us this week?
Well, a lot of these have been introspective and sort of self-evaluating, sort of my views on myself and society. And these days, it seems like more people are a little stressed out, maybe, a little distraught. The world seems to be less familiar than I think it has in a while. Of course, today the new round of tariffs take effect, and just people are feeling generally unsettled, I think, and I can't speak for everybody, right? But it just, you sort of see that. You sort of see people feel a little less just sure about what's going to happen next, and that always makes people a little more tense. Sure. I think is the word. And I think some people take these things more to heart than others, Anyway, all that is to say that yesterday I was on the road and I stopped for ice cream because, if it's your first show, you'll catch on,
Exactly.
Ice cream is kind of a thing. And so anyway, I stopped at a Dairy Queen. It was about 2 hours from home, and I'm like, all right, well, great. I got some time to eat this, and then time to get about 3 more before I get home. So, I knew where every Dairy Queen was all the way home.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm in line, and there's a woman at the counter, and she's there's about 4 people behind the counter trying to sort this out. There was some kind of an issue with the coupon, so there was a couple clerks and then a manager, and they got that sorted out. Anyway, behind that woman was a man, and he was immediately kind of in a bad mood with this young girl working behind the counter. I'm guessing 15, 16 years old, and she very politely asked him to clarify what he tried to order. And I didn't know what he wanted either. I was like, I kind of wanted to be like, he was getting kind of snippy, and I was going like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about either. Like she's just wants to get your order right. But I didn't say anything. I just stood there, and she handled it pretty well. And anyway, and then she said, is this for here to go? And she said, I told you for here. I don't want to say it twice. It really bothers me to have to say things twice. And again, I'm thinking, I didn't hear you say that either, but it wasn't really my business, And anyway, he kind of ramped it up. And so I literally took a step towards him, like I was getting ready to kind of intervene and be like, hey man, just get off the gas pedal here. The kid's just trying to do her job. Like, you made your point. Now just shut up and take your burger. Right. Mm-hmm. And that was my first instinct, was to kind of protect this young clerk from, this older guy who was just kind of giving her the what for. And I'm glad that everything stopped before I had a chance to say anything. She handled it well and closed the transaction, and he was on his way. And and that gave me a moment to think about my reaction. And I thought maybe I should have handled it differently. And again, I just had time to think about it. Maybe I should have said, "Are you okay? Like, I'm serious. Like, man, are you going through something? Like, I know you don't need to take it out on her, right? But if you are, I mean, I'm here for you. I don't know you. You were strangers, but just let it out, man. If you want to yell at somebody, yell at me. I don't know, but maybe instead of jumping on top of him with anger too, I gave me a moment to think. Maybe I should have said, "Hey, man," because everybody's going through something.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a meeting tonight at my church, and we were talking about how many people are really struggling.
Yeah.
Whether it's with finances or your marriage or just understanding what happens next in the world or health, or I think the point is everybody's going through something. And if you're not, you will, and if you're not trying more to be more, I think, attentive to that, again, and, recognize my own reaction to that situation. And, and so again, there was no situation because it all got wound down. But anyway, after it was done, I just told her, I said, "Hey, I'm sorry that, that you had to deal with that, and then I ordered my Blizzard, and I said, like, a medium, and she said, "We're out of mediums." And I'm like, "Oh no, this poor kid is just having a night." I said, "You know what? Then give me a large. I'll take a large. This is great,
So you say she upsold you?
Yeah, I was like, man, that's really clever, honestly.
Yeah,
I think,
she's like, there's a whole stack of medium cups back there, but watch what I can do to this guy.
I'm like, well, just put less in a large cup. But I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna give this kid any hassle. I'm like, look, I can afford the extra buck, and I could probably eat that extra ice cream too. So but anyway, I guess that's all I'm saying, right? It's just, I just talked to another friend of mine just right before I got online, and this friend was telling me about just kind of having a little pity party.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend was pretty open about it. My friend was like, "Yeah, I'm having a pity party. I just want to feel bad for a minute." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." But I guess my point is, while you're busy thinking about your own pity party, make sure that you're mindful of other people's probably having one too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we all just kind of got together on this a little bit, one, we maybe wouldn't feel so isolated or so bad about our situations. The old saying, I used to complain I didn't have any shoes, and then I met a man who had no feet. But maybe I don't know, maybe we can make each other feel a little better about it. That's all I'm saying. Just
Mm-hmm.
take a beat. Just take a beat.
And I think this really fits into, because I think one of your parts of your personality is that servant heart that you display. People may not talk about it, but anyone who's been around you will observe that and see that servant heart. And I think your Dairy Queen situation is a great example of your initial response and such was that servant heart wasn't coming out in the first part. But when you step back and it's like, then that servant heart that is part of your personality, that's where that came in and was like, how can I serve this person? Whether it's letting them yell at me or letting them dump their baggage on me, what have you. And I think we need more of that in the world right now.
We do. We need less of my first reaction, which was to, put that guy on his can.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my first reaction was confrontational and, assert my male, whatever,
Yeah.
I did get a nice compliment today. I stopped by our local Visit Bemidji, and they threw a stuffed Paul Bunyan to me that I was going to send to somebody, and I made a left-handed, one-handed catch behind me anyway. And he's like, "Wow, for a nerd, you're pretty athletic," And of course, 100 years ago, I used to wrestle, and I enjoyed physical contact sports, but that's not the same, And that, again, that first instinct was to really jump in and just sort of challenge this guy, with my violence against his, and that wouldn't have helped anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I probably wouldn't be doing the show. I'd be doing it from the county jail, but it also wouldn't help that girl,
Yeah.
It wouldn't help anybody. And so again, that moment to just take a beat, and thank you for the kind words about my servant heart. I mean, it's something that I am proud of, and I need to give it space to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I could have just as easily let that guy rip into me and not had to I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to validate myself. I could have just let him take it out on me, and I could have said, man, do you feel better?
Mm-hmm.
Because I hope you do. I mean that. Like, because
Genuine.
I watched him go to his table with his sandwich and his drink and sit alone and eat that sandwich. And again, I almost thought about going over to his table and be like, striking up a conversation, but I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm a chicken, but anyway, if we just give each other that extra beat, is all I'm saying. Count to 5, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
and then think about it, right? Think about, like, why does this person act this way? And believe me, if you've ever read a DJ forum, there's a lot of opportunities to do that.
Yeah, yep, that definitely is. Definitely is. All right, let's get to our last question of the night. All right, Ben, for our final question of the night, somebody was talking that they had a series of shows and events all kind of back to back to back, which is like your lifestyle. And they were wondering
Welcome to my everyday.
Exactly. But they were wondering basically, how do you take care of your health? And I really, as we're talking about this, I really kind of want to have you kind of share a little bit the physical health. There's some things that you do to maintain that, because you're on the road a lot, you're doing different things with the install, and you're going from project to project to project. The physical side and a little bit of the mental side too.
I think they go hand in hand, to be honest with you. I think your whole body is a system, and I mean it really does go hand in hand. These are in no particular order, kind of stream of consciousness, if you will.
Sure.
But number one, and this is great advice I gave a young man on tour. This is many years ago, and he's still in the industry. He's managed to survive it and thrive in it. But sleep when you can. When you get a chance, sleep. Sleep is really good for you. It's good for your brain. It's good for your body. We need that. So sleep when you can. Healthy meals, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who's looked at a rider, sometimes they're like, man, this is a little ridiculous. And sometimes in the summer when we're doing outdoor shows or festivals or fairs, they're like, well, can we just give you vouchers for the food trucks? And we're 99% of the times we're like, no, you can't. And they're like, well, it's not going to kill you one time. We're like, it's because it's not one time. It's going to be 9 times this week.
Yeah.
So we're like, a little treat here and there, whatever you want to call it. But you got to have healthy food going in, or your body's just going to have a bad reaction to that. If you're eating constantly junk food, fried food, blah, 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 especially working long hours in the heat. So eat healthy food. And don't get me wrong, I love junk food. I have the worst, my daughter's a dentist, and I swear she saw the way I ate and was like, that's a gold mine, so I've had to learn, I have to check myself. I'm like, nope, we're taking a left. We're going over here. We're going to have a salad. We're not going to have the 4th bucket of fried mini donuts today, and of
because
course
3 was enough. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the first 3 were enough. Yeah.
Okay, good. We know where the line is, right there. 3.
Yeah. And hand in hand with that is hydrate. Drink water. And I see guys slamming energy drinks and stuff, and I'm like, man, you are not long for this if you keep doing that, because your body is designed to function a certain way. And it's not that I don't have an energy drink once in a while, but it's like, if that's the plan day after day, it doesn't work. It did not take me too long into touring to figure out why people do drugs on tour.
Sure.
And I'm not at all in a place to pass judgment. I'm lucky that I never got into that. But it's sometimes you see people doing it just so they can keep going.
Yeah.
And those are the people that inevitably you kind of read about, died in their tour bus or whatever. At some point your body's just like, I can't do it, and that price has to be paid. So, drink water, not a lot of sugary caffeinated beverages. And again, I love them, but, give yourself the resources you need. And so I think those are some of the key things to like the sort of physical aspects, but again, the mental goes right along with that. And we talked about, sleep is kind of both. I think a couple of key things for me as I'm thinking back to some particular moments on tour. There was one tour we had 10 straight show days. So that is literally 10 days in a row where I'm working 8 a.m. to midnight every day. And 40-hour week, just forget about that.
Yeah.
Right? There's no such thing. And by the end of those 10 days, you are just blasted. And one of the best things I did, one of the most restful things I did, was we had a day off and we all went to a city park and we played baseball. And you go, well, wait a minute. That is, playing baseball is not restful. No, but we got outside, we got in the sunshine, we had some fun, we threw the ball around, we all felt more energized after that. It was a change of pace. It was some sunshine. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then I think the last thing that I would say, and this goes along with the mental health, because again, if your brain feels good, your body will feel good and vice versa, is find joy. Find joy everywhere and everything. I do that in a lot of different ways. If I have a day off, or even if I have a couple hours off, I'll be like, hey, what's cool that I can go to? Is there a museum nearby, or you got like the biggest ball of twine or something? I mean, stupid stuff, right? But just go find some joy, that's key. So I think, I don't know, I'm not an expert on this stuff. I've somehow made it 3 decades doing this, but those are the things that work for me.
Sure. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. So, the link
and workout too, if you have. I mean, I'm sorry, that's I left that off the list because I don't do it. But there's a lot of people that's really big, and I see like the Mike Walters of the world and whatever who are always running at trade shows, and good for them. I mean, honestly, if you got a routine, stick with it. I don't need to hit the weights because I'm unloading trucks, but well, I do need to hit the weights. Clearly, look at me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, right? So sorry, I just wanted to tack that on as an also ran for everybody else. If you're not loading and unloading trucks. And
I think it's one of those things that, while there's many of the things that you talked about that are universal, that everyone's going to have their thing. As Mike with his running, Thomas Heath was on just ahead of us there, and he's really
he's a beast. He's a beast. I'm so proud of him. His health journey has been so amazing. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, and he's a weightlifter. He's really into that. And I think everyone's got their thing. And not one thing isn't right, better than the other. It's you got to find your thing, and make it yours, and that helps to keep that head on the shoulder square.
Definitely
does. So wonderful. Well, gang, we're going to wrap things up a little bit earlier tonight here because Ben's got some things he's got to be jumping to next. So thank you guys for being with us. And again, the links, the link for NLFX Pro is in the description of the video. Go there. You can go and search for the cable if you wanted to get it in one of those for your wireless system. So you have that option. It's a fairly inexpensive thing to add to your repertoire. And then you have it. So if you get that situation where you have to go wireless with an iPad or something and the microphone, it's all there, and you don't have to have a power cord. Good stuff.
They're super cheap. Buy 2, have a spare.
Yeah.
Honestly,
for sure.
I mean, and also remember, free shipping over $35.
Yeah.
So get a couple cables, get a roll of gaff tape, get something else, get the free shipping. But
get something that'll make you feel pretty. The whole 10 yards. That'd be great.
Find your joy on our website.
All right, gang, you have a wonderful evening, and DJNTV.com/chill. They'll be in the chill room right after the show here tonight, so go have some fun and chat, and we'll catch you next time. Good night, everybody.